Hello everybody, the new agency CRM add-on is live and it's amazing. It really turned out better than I had even hoped. And before I give you the full walkthrough of how to set up your agency CRM, I first want to help you wrap your mind around how empowering this is. If you have ever thought about starting a side hustle in addition to your current job, or if you have an agency and you just want to scale it, or if you want to go for it, quit your job and jump into a full-blown social media marketing agency. Or if you just want to resell software, if you've thought about dumping $500,000 into building a tool like this and spending years of your life building it, scrap all of those plans, because all you need to do is jump on our beta pricing of $49 a month and you will have exactly the software that we at Socialmonials sell for way more than that. We invested way more money than the $49 a month to get this going, but you will literally be able to compete directly with us with your own brand. Everything's white labeled and everything is built in. All the tools you need to succeed are literally within this program. And the ones that aren't, we give to you for free. We have a ton of bonuses that we've lined up to help you start your business. We're incredibly passionate about helping you guys achieve financial independence through social media marketing. Every small business needs this. They want to come to somebody like you who's passionate about what they do and help them succeed. It's our job to give you guys the tools to help them succeed and make a good amount of money doing it. So we're going to be giving you a lot of support. We have our own Facebook group set up just for the agency CRM owners, and that's just part of it. Once you're in, you have this complete dashboard to see everything that's going on. We also give you a free workspace just for you, so you don't need to think about using your own workspace to promote clients. Use it to promote your own agency. That's why we make it free. All of the campaigns that you run, like viral sweepstakes, to promote your own agency, all of those leads go directly into your own leads database and they're reported on here. When those leads are converted to customers, it'll appear here. You can view all your contacts right here. That's where all of them will live. All the integrations that you already have as an agency with your MailChimp account or whatever you're using, those will all work. If somebody buys one of your pricing plans, we will package up and ship that data directly into your email service provider, so all of your existing tools can still be used if you still wish to use them. Not completely necessary, because now we've built all the email automated triggered communications right into the CRM. All right, enough of that. I am going to jump in and show you how this works. The first thing you're going to want to do, and I'm going to jump over to an account that doesn't have this set up yet, and I'm going to go to Agency CRM, and when you first log in, you're going to have to pay. There's a $49 charge. Just click the blue button and pay that. That's going to ask you to select which workspace that you want to use as your agency designated workspace. Give it some thought. If you're already promoting a client on one of your workspaces, don't use it. If let's say you have 5 workspaces and all 5 are being used for clients, as soon as you unlock the agency CRM add-on, it's going to add an additional available workspace. So you'll be able to go over and click Add New Workspace, create a whole fresh workspace just for your agency, and start using that as your designated workspace. So once that's out of the way, you're going to go ahead and first connect your integration to Stripe. So jump down to Integrations. And to connect it is very simple. I'm going to disconnect the one I've already done here, just so I could show you how easy it is. If you don't have a Stripe account yet, it's completely free and it sets up in minutes. So there's a link here to take you directly to set up your new Stripe account. So if you don't have a Stripe account to collect credit card payments, you'll want to do that. Once that's done, you connect your Stripe account. And it's basically just going to ask you to log in. All right, now when the little box closes, your Stripe should be connected. And you'll know that because now the button will say disconnect your Stripe account. So the next step is to go to Contacts Integration and integrate any CRM or email service provider that you want to connect. So this is where we're going to be sending all of your new customers over to as soon as they purchase a plan. So make sure that you're in your agency designated workspace and then jump over to your integrations. If you've already set this up for your agency because you're running social media campaigns, you're already done. But you'll want to go here and make sure you add like your MailChimp or whatever you're using to market your agency. And go ahead and set that integration. We've already done that for our MailChimp. So I'm going to go back to the dashboard. Jump back into Agency CRM. Go to Integrations. Then I'm just going to select my MailChimp and my MailChimp list. Great. So now everything's going to be piped over. So the next step is going to be to add a pricing plan. So I'm going to start that process now. So what pricing plan did we want to create? I mean, we can create a reseller plan where all we do is provision an account and we don't really provide any agency services, or we can provide like a full service agency client plan. The best way to do this is I'm going to show you the website that we're going to be giving you when you sign up for Agency CRM. And this is available as a WordPress site or as just HTML. So I'm going to scroll to the bottom. These are the defaults. As you can see, there are 3 different plans here. And at the bottom, it's all summarized. So these are the recommended starting plans. I want to see you guys getting up to $1,000 a month for your top plans. But when you're just starting out, don't be greedy. You just need to get some people signed up. Even look at this, like our initial one, only at $99 a month. You're going to not only break even on your $49 a month cost of doing this, but you're also going to be doubling that just on your first client at the lowest price point. So don't be greedy until you get really good at this. Then you can slowly start increasing your pricing. So let's say we want to start the junior social media manager one. So let's take a look at what we give them. Social media publishing services, social media reporting, and unlimited email support. So these are the 2 things I want to make sure I provision. I want to give them a dashboard so I don't need to send them reports. And we're going to be doing all the publishing for them. So the only thing they really need to access with this plan is the reporting. So I'm going to jump back in. Let's create this. The plan name, I'm just going to copy it directly from here and make things easy for myself. Junior social media manager, I'm going to go up here because we have a little more information on it. So let's copy this, paste it here for the plan description, and they actually can see this. This is visible to them in the purchase page. So you want to make sure to put something kind of descriptive here. Let's grab the description and paste it here. Now the plan. So this is where I would put my $99, and that's going to be monthly, but you also have the option of making this an annual or even a one-time. If you want people to just, let's say pay $500 and get lifetime access to the software, go ahead and click one time and do it that way. But I'm really interested in building my monthly income, my passive income. So I'm going to choose monthly here. For the select account type, you probably only have one account type. Like I have 15 workspaces available. And the way to know how many is to go back to your workspaces and it will tell you how many you have available. So let's say you've purchased 50 business workspaces and you've upgraded 3 of those to enterprise. What it would say is 47 business available and 3 enterprise available. So go ahead and select the workspaces that you've purchased. Go ahead and select the ones that you want to apply to this particular plan. Now what will happen is every time somebody buys one of these, it's going to automatically provision one of your available workspaces and give it to this person and create a sub-user for them to log in, and we'll get to that in a moment. So the maximum social profiles, what I would do is just make it match whatever you have for your the workspace. The reason we do this is some people want to restrict this, and you might have a reason for that, you might not. But what I recommend to keep your life simple is, use what we typically give. So maximum social profiles for our business plan, it's 30 per month. Maximum campaign entries, we generally give 5,000 per month, and maximum users, we generally give 3. Because when you run out of workspaces, as long as you're on the agency's CRM plan, it's only $10 a month to add a business workspace. So this is probably what you're going to be adding, because that's the type of workspace you're probably going to be buying. Client user settings. So we don't want to make them an admin if they're going to be an agency client. The only time you'd want to make them an admin user is if you're doing a reseller plan. And the reason for that is now as an admin, they're going to be able to access the workspace users section, and they'll be able to add their own sub-users. So if they're using this as software, they probably have a team who wants to contribute as well. But if they're an agency client, you really don't want them messing around with that stuff. You want to be in full control, only give them what they need in their dashboard. So I'm going to make them a restricted user. I do not want them to manage campaigns. I actually do want them to be able to approve posts and entries. Access the calendar, sure, that's fine. We can give them, insight into what's coming. Access reports, yes, that's fine. I want them to be able to have 24/7 reporting. Publish posts, absolutely not. And access customer information, of course, we want them to be able to access that. And moderates contest entries. I'm going to leave this selected on, even though for this plan, they won't have any campaigns created for them. But in the future, if they upgrade their plan, I want them to automatically have this available, because if there's no campaigns created for them, they're not going to be able to approve anything anyway, so there's no harm in letting them do this. Ask them to add social profiles. Absolutely. So what this checkbox means is if they buy a plan, it's going to step them through some things, so you don't have to do it. First step is it's going to ask them to create an account. So it'll ask them for their name, email address, things like that. The next step is it's going to ask them to pay for it. It's also going to ask them to check a box that says that they agree to the terms of service, and they'll be able to view all of those terms of service. Once that's done, it's going to take them into this next step. If we check this box, it's going to ask them to add their social profiles. So now instead of having a bunch of back and forth where you're asking them to provide the details of their Facebook login and LinkedIn login, now they can simply do it themselves, and it will automatically attach it to the workspace. That's a massive time saver. Once they're done with that, it's going to drop them directly into their dashboard as the user that we created. So it's going to automatically log them in, and the username and password that they created will be emailed to them, and they don't even need to add that to get to the next step. It will automatically log them in. So that's how this works. Once we've created this user, we're done. We're ready to activate the pricing plan. So everything checked out, and it is live now. So when I click Save, now I've got this plan added. This is the Junior Social Media Manager plan. I'm going to add one more. So the next one will just be the Social Media Manager plan. So what I'm going to do here is just copy this, paste it here, and for the description, for now, I'm going to call this, let us run your social media for you. And the plan price, this one we are charging $249 a month. So I'm going to put $249. Monthly enterprise account will be issued to them, and I'm going to give them exactly the same number of social profiles, the same number of max campaign entries, and the same number of sub-users. I'm also going to give them a restricted user base here with all of the same permissions as before. I'll let them approve, access the calendar, access the reports, but I'm going to be doing the publishing for them. They may access the customer information and moderate contest entries, but I'm still going to ask them to connect their own social profiles. Click Save. Fantastic. Now we've got this one. Let's add one more just so we have the complete suite. So for this one, I'm going to jump down to the Senior Social Media Manager. Full service social media management for your business. Hopefully you get more creative than that. But for the price, you can see we're charging $3.99 a month. So I'm going to paste in $3.99 monthly. I'm going to choose Enterprise again. And we're going to use the exact same social profiles and users. So for this one, I'm going to do the exact same thing, restricted user, because all of these are really full service. We're not doing any reselling here. Okay, so we've created our third plan. Great. So I'm going to jump back into Workspaces to show you here. Remember I was mentioning that you have different types of workspaces. This is our test account. But if you need to add more, the best way to do that because of your discount is you're going to want to click down here, reach out to customer support, and we will send you a link to purchase those $10 workspaces. So now that we have all three, let me show you how these work. You're given a plan URL for each. So take the $99 one, for example. Here's how that looks. So account setup, if you have custom, your font set up in your white label, it's going to use your custom font. I don't particularly like this font, but this is what we have on our test account. So you'll want to make sure you have the right font that you like. Notice that this left panel is totally customizable. And let me jump back into white label. So if you go to your white label tab and then scroll down, you have a custom sign-in page. This is where I uploaded that image. So you'll want to upload a nice left image. You can put your logo in there, and I highly recommend you do this. So whatever you want to use as your branding, go ahead and do that. That will appear here. So this is the first step where they would sign up. Let's go ahead and sign up. Let's buy this plan. So now it's going to ask them to pay. So payment details. So now that you've done that, it's going to ask you to connect your social accounts. This is where I would do this. I will just add a Facebook account real quick. So once that's added, it will give me a nice green checkbox, and then I'll click Finished. Great, so now it is going to draw me into the account. Notice that all they have available to them is to be able to approve and check their calendar to see what's upcoming. There's nothing yet. They can view all of their reporting in their social CRM to show them the contacts that have been added from any campaigns that have been added. So these are the reports. Obviously, there's nothing in there yet because we haven't started working for them yet. But at least they have their dashboard fully set up. So I also want to show you a wonderful feature, because if you've owned a small business before, you know the worst thing is to be collecting from people. It's so difficult. Everyone dreads doing it. And the nice thing about our software is when we issue them a login, we also give them access to their own billing interface. So they can always go up here and check out their billing tab. So this will show them a complete payment history, how much they paid, when they paid, and it will also show them when their next payment is due and how much is due, and it will turn red if they go past due, meaning that something went wrong. And it will also send them an email saying that they need to correct the situation, and it will send them back to their billing tab, which is right here. And they've got a couple options down below to resolve things. They can change their credit card info, so if their expiration date on their credit card comes and goes, they can go in here and update that information. They can also change plans. By clicking here, whatever other plans you have available, they're able to go in and make that change. They can also cancel the account. This is required by law, at least in California and some other municipalities too. They have to be able to cancel the account for any recurring payment subscriptions in at least as easy a manner as they signed up. So because we offer such an easy online sign up, they need to be able to cancel online as well. But when this happens, you will be notified of that. So that is how the billing works. Mostly, though, they will be using the reporting feature to just see how their account is doing. So what I'm going to do now is log out, and let's jump back into the agency CRM, and I will continue demonstrating how to set this up. There's another great feature that we added. So now I'm going to jump back into the dashboard. This feature is especially going to be interesting to people who are creating reseller plans. So free trial access. What you can do now once you've set up your plans is set up free trial signups. So let's say you wanted to do what we do and create a 14-day free trial. And what you would do is set 14 days here, and when the trial ends, send them to a page. So the options here are, you can, let's say you want them to take a trial for 14 days, and at the end of the 14 days, it's going to force them to buy a plan. So if you have a reseller plan as a fourth one, like right now all three of these are full service agency. Let's say you set up a fourth plan that is for your reselling of just software only. You can choose that fourth plan, and it would force them to, let's choose junior for now. It would force them to buy the junior plan. You could also create, let's say you have a website like this one. What you would probably want to do is grab this URL of your sales page and force them to choose a plan and buy a plan. So what you would then do in that case is choose an external pricing page and just paste that page in here. So the pricing plan during trial. What you would want to do here is just select whichever plan you want them to have access to during the trial. So we set all of these to have exactly the same limits, so it's not going to be as important. So let's just give them the junior plan. And then you can activate that free trial access, and it will give you the URL to that free trial to sign up for that. So let's kind of go over what just happened. If they go and they sign up for a free trial, we are going to provision whatever workspace that you have designated for your junior social media manager account. So it will use one of your workspaces. And in this count, I believe I had it set up to assign an enterprise workspace. So it will provision that account, give them 14 days to use it, and at the end of the 14 days, it's going to force them to choose one of the three plans. That's pretty sweet. It's totally hands-off. It does all of the requirements in the back end for you, so you're not having to kind of check your calendar to see if it's time to go and ask them to sign up. It will actually ask them to sign up, and I'll show you what emails will be sent to them during this process. That's your next step, is to set up your notifications. The good news is all of these have been created by default, and we've just kind of used best practices pulled from what we actually use for our software platform. So if I were you, I would honestly go through and check every single box, because all of these notifications are really required to run a robust agency and reseller platform. So first thing I'm going to do is I'm just going to check all of them. And then I'll go through and explain what each one of these does. So for notifications, you have the first section is after a successful payment. So as soon as they buy a plan and they pay and Stripe tells us that they've paid, first of all, it's going to notify you as the owner of your agency that somebody bought that plan, and it will give you their information. We're also going to immediately send a welcome email to the person who bought the plan. So here's the subject line, here is the body text. Of course, you have some parameters. So whatever the first name that they used, it will say Dear John or whatever their name is, and you'll be able to customize that welcome email. If you want to upsell them on something else, maybe you also offer an SEO package, we are going to be adding bump services. So it's not going to happen immediately, but what will happen at that point is when they first sign up for your plan, you'll be able to have kind of a bump service where it says, hey, do you also want to add SEO services for an additional $300 a month? And it will do that in line with their purchase process. But for now, just put it in here in all of your follow-up emails. This is an email to the client for a successful payment. So this is separate from the welcome email. The successful payment will actually give them their username and all of that information, the amount that they paid, and a link for them to go and log in. So this is more of an accounting thing. The failed payment email notification. So let's say next month rolls around and their credit card bounces. The charge doesn't go through. First of all, we have it set to notify you that the payment failed. The next thing we'll do is we'll send them an email for that failed payment, and it just tells them that you were unable to process the card and instructions to get it right. The next thing is email for going over maximum campaign entries. So let's say they have 5,200 campaign entries in a given month. Well, if you're managing all of their campaigns for them, deselect this. You don't want that email going to them. You want that email going to you. So if you deselect that, the email will go to you. Or leave it checked if this is a reseller program. That way, let us handle that for you. It will force them to go to a higher plan. And yes, they will be able to increase their pricing plans or switch to different plans in a fully automated way that you do not need to be involved with. Free trial email notifications. Okay, these are the notifications that go out during the trial. When they first sign up for that free trial, this is exactly what we will send to them. Upon free trial ending without payment, this is what we will send. So every time they sign up for a trial, when they log in, it's actually going to have a link in the top nav for the duration of their trial, telling them how many days they have left, and it will also provide them with the link for them to go and pay and choose a plan. So if they don't do that, then we will send this out. We obviously will not send this email out if they bought a plan before the end of their trial. But this is really critical. Make sure this is exactly the language you want, because we are kind of requiring them to go and buy a plan. If they do not, they won't have access to their login anymore. We'll automatically pause that for you. And once they buy a plan, we will unpause that. So all of that back-end provisioning is done for you. And finally, that takes us to our agency terms of service. So when they first buy their plan, there's a checkbox that they have to sign or check in order to agree to the terms of service. So if you should always do this, by the way, come up with something. What are your requirements? Go ahead and go to our terms of service on our website. If you want to start from there, that's fine. But you'll want to create something that you display to them. These are your expectations of them. What do you want them to do, and what are you going to do? There's plenty of templates out there where you can help craft your terms of service based on the types of services you're going to be providing. And once this is all done, just click Save. And now you're all set up. Each of these URLs, so let's say our senior social media manager, we will have separate complete training on how to set up your custom website, but that is basically what you would paste in for this sign up button. And you'll just go into your website, edit it, and change the button destination to this particular URL. For the social media manager, you would grab this URL, go back to your website, and for the social media manager one, this would be your new sign up destination. For your junior social media manager plan, you would grab this URL and set that as the destination for junior social media manager. That's it. You just started your own agency. I mean, it's as simple as that. At this point, it's going to be a matter of marketing, and that's where the Facebook group comes in. You will have access to a private Facebook group only for agency CRM users, and that is where we can share ideas, ask questions about marketing, because I do have some ideas on how you guys can penetrate the market. First step is to go over to that Facebook page. That's where all of your bonuses live as well. So you'll be able to, get access to that free training. We have a complete course that we created on teachable.com, and you can gain access to that private course. And that's also where we post all of your CSVs for your monthly posting for your clients. So if you have any questions, please reach out to us here. Once you buy, you would reach out to us within that Facebook group. I really hope for a prosperous year for you, and I'm so thrilled to be a part of making that happen. So once again, thanks for your time.